Chris Larson at the ATA show in Indianapolis, and I'm meeting with Daniel Hendricks, who's really one of the fathers of crossbow legalization throughout the United States. And Daniel, just thanks so much for meeting up with us today.
Thank you, Chris.
Daniel, can you just tell us a little bit about what's going on the crossbow front right now as far as legalization throughout the country?
Well, right now there's 15 states where the crossbows legal during the archery season, but a lot more states you can use it during the gun season. I mean, there's a lot of variations, but the natural trend is to move towards full inclusion in the archery season, and there's more and more states that are going every year doing that.
In the state of Wisconsin right now, it's kind of a hot zone. Some things are happening. Can you tell us about what's going on in Wisconsin?
Well, several years ago, they made it legal for people 65 and over to use the crossbow, and of course, disabled people have always been able to use it. But last year, during the Conservation Congress, they approved 55 and over. And while we're here at the show, I understand there's talk now about just making it legal straight across the board. And as always, where there's a new crossbow suggestion, there's always lots of controversy. And so we have to wait for the dust to settle to see how it turns out.
You've been involved in a lot of these kind of situations. What's the pushback about? What are some of the archery hunters and the folks who are against this? What are they saying?
Well, it's kind of funny because I used to be anti-crossbow myself. And then we started a disabled organization, and we actually had to help these guys sight in the crossbows, and we realized that they weren't what we had been told they were. And a lot of the mist that they used back then, they're still using now. You know, that the crossbow is a poacher's weapon, that it'll decimate the deer herd. And I've always been amused by that one because we haven't been able to decimate the deer herd with the rifle, but the crossbow is going to do it. And that's exciting to know. You know, you need to know this stuff. But the only argument that we can overcome with documented facts and figures from states where the crossbow is included in the archery season is the fact that if we legalize a crossbow, there'll be more hunters in my woods during my season killing my deer. And hopefully that's the case, because in the last decade, Chris, we've lost 10% of our hunters nationwide. And with the American Crossbow Federation, we believe that anything that helps promote hunting and increases our numbers is a good thing, even if it's the crossbow.
And the great thing about crossbows is, you know, it allows people who maybe have a bad back, or even a lot of youngsters, a lot of young people who really can't pull back on a bow. It just gets them in the woods and gets them started in hunting.
Those are the two primary strengths of the crossbow, actually, is hunter retention, keeping the older hunters in the woods, and hunter recruitment, being able to get the younger people into the woods and putting them on a solid ground as far as having a weapon that will successfully take down a deer. And yet it's easy learning curve for them and to get them started younger.
Can you talk just a little bit about, I mean, you've had an opportunity to hunt with people on their first crossbow hunt. What do they think going in, and what's the feeling when they get done?
Well, that's tough. I guess, like I said, it's got an easy learning curve, but no matter who you see and when they're hunting, they're having fun. I mean, it's when you can pick up a weapon, spend 5-10 minutes with it and be shooting bullseyes consistently, that's fun for everybody. I mean, we want to be winners. And nobody likes to spray arrows all over the woods and go, yeah, I'm a bow hunter. Well, this allows people to be very proficient at what they're doing. Like I said, it has a quick learning curve. And it just puts fun in it.
Is there anything I didn't ask you about crossbows that you think is really important that people should know?
Well, they're a dangerous weapon, okay? And whatever you do, you buy a crossbow, please, first thing you do is sit down, read your operation manual, because you can get seriously hurt. So first thing, regardless of what kind of a crossbow you buy, sit down, read your operator's manual, and so you're operating it safely. Number one rule in my book.
All right, Dan Hendricks, thanks so much for meeting with us, and thanks for talking about the crossbow and helping to spread the popularity of it and get more people hunting. We really appreciate it.